guys actually will like. So Jordan Peele, the Us movie, is a horror movie. Confirmed, and that he doesn't want, or critics should not be saying that it's a thriller, quote unquote.
Okay, alright.
It is a horror movie, which I think it's cool for him to be like, no, this is a horror movie and don't call it anything else. Or like, I don't know, award shows or whatever, when they want to put them under certain categories that they don't really belong in just because, you know? Because they don't want to call it a certain thing.
I've been wanting to ask you about him in that realm. How do you feel about that?
About Jordan Peele?
Yeah, being in the horror film realm or genre.
Well, obviously this is only his second feature, but from what he's shown me, I think it's been really impressive.
He's got the chops for it.
Yeah, and I think that it just shows that he's a horror buff. And he's a horror buff making things that he's, grown up with. And just like Tarantino, the reason why he's so good at what he does is because he's so, this genre is so infused with him that he just does it and it works. You know what I mean? Like Us, the trailer or the trailers that I've seen so far, it looks like a Twilight Zone episode. And look what he's going to be doing.
He's doing the Twilight series.
He's going to be hosting the Twilight Zone, It all fuses together, and I'm excited about it.
Which Tarantino dropped a new poster yesterday.
That's part of my news, motherfucker.
God damn, I'm 3 for 3 tonight. The fuck?
But no, yeah. I'm excited for Us. It comes out today. This episode drops Friday, so go watch it if you haven't seen it.
It's gonna be fucking dope. It looks fucking dope. I'm
certified fresh already.
Yes. I'm actually gonna go watch it probably.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Cool. Thank you for that question, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you because I know both of you are fucking horror movie goers. More than I am.
This guy now
was some kind of dabbling in it.
But for me to see him, because I've always thought of him as a comic.
Yeah.
Well, because he started off with Comedy Central
sketch,
and everything. Yeah.
And so for me to see what he's done so far with these 2 movies, it just makes me like excited for what else is to come from him. Because I think as a director, he has the niche for fucking horror movies. And it's very hard.
I think that's why Get Out there was so much maybe confusion about it. Because they're like, well, what's this guy from Comedy Central directing this type of movie? It's not funny.
And even then, people are like, oh, this quote unquote horror movie, like, is this really even horror,
Yeah.
And it just shows that other people are not... They're not open to other people's like opinions and views of what is a horror movie or what is, anything else. Like it has to be this way,
It's all cut and dry or put into a category.
So it can only be, here's the steps to making a horror movie. And he's challenging that, and he's doing something different, and people always have something to say about it,
Yes.
Nice. Anything else?
She's got more.
She's got one more.
Hold on.
I do have one more. No. I won't talk about that.
No? Sure. Alright.
Okay. So I read an article that said that Amy Schumer said that her husband has autism. What was called Asperger's, but now is called autism spectrum disorder. So people were like, "Oh, why is she coming out now that he has this?" He's like 30 something. Like if it was a secret or whatever, like why did it have to be hidden or anything like that? I don't know, but I just think that's cool that she's like, realizing that when she found out that he has that, and she's like, oh, all the symptoms of autism on him is like, that's why I fell in love with him, and I didn't even know that's what it meant.
Was that something that he knew he already had, or was that just?
I don't know about that. I think he was diagnosed later on, and like as an adult.
Okay.
That's what it.
It was never caught.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I just bring that up because I kind of had a situation at work with one of the kids in my classroom. Well, he's not even in my classroom, but autism came up, and it's just a big thing, People get so scared. People don't know. I myself, I'm not. I know of it. I know some, from my school and all that, but it's different when you're actually living, living through it, living with someone that has it, or that someone that has it. But I just thought that was pretty cool that she said that she didn't even know, and that's how she loves him, because of the way he is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I have a nephew that has autism, and it's crazy. It's a crazy.
I had a big
I don't know if
issue.
it's disease. I don't know if we call it disorder.
Yeah.
It's a crazy disorder.
Yeah. I had a big issue with a parent in my classroom. Her child is coming to visit my classroom because he's about to move over. He's of age, that his birthday's coming up, so he's going to be in my classroom. So he's like visiting on and off my classroom, so he gets used to it. Yeah. And so he's a biter. He bit someone, and I'm like, fuck, no. No, that's a big issue in preschool classrooms. So I talked to the mom, like, hey, concerning the bite, like, just to let you know our policy. She was like, oh, well, he has autism, so the policy doesn't apply to him. And I was like, oh,
but it's also,
I don't think so, because he's still hurting my other friends in my classroom.
The well-being of the other children. You have to take in mind that.
And she's like, oh, he doesn't listen, and he's wild and all this, and he has autism. That's why he's crazy. And I was like,
what the fuck kind of parent is this?
I was like, I don't think that how you say he's crazy because he has autism. I didn't know he had autism. No one told me this, so from my experience of having him in my classroom, he's just has a little bit more harder time, controlling his body. And that's all I'm trying to say. Like, we have to all work together so that he doesn't bite anymore. And afterwards, I, talked to my director and the administration, and they're like, she's lying, he doesn't have autism, the brother has autism, so she thinks that he has autism. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is to say that your kid has autism, to say that he's crazy because of that, that's a big thing. Like, she's just using that as an excuse for him to not get sent home when he's fucking biting my other friends, and the bite, broke the skin. So I was like, no. The policy most definitely does apply to him, whether he has a disorder or not.
Yeah, the safety of everybody has to be in call.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
you can't jeopardize the other kid. I'm not.
That's exactly.
Other kids are safety is in question.
Priority too.
Yeah. And they also give free therapy lessons at home. Like,
thank you.
There's no fucking way. Like, it took my nephew he's what? It's like 6 or 7. No, he is actually, correction, he's 9. But it took him to be 7 years old to go to school. He had never been to school, and he fucking loves school. He does his homework every fucking day. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? But at that turn, like, he got therapy throughout his fucking life up to this point at home. So it's like all that wild shit just was already, being controlled by therapy. But if you, obviously you got to educate yourself on the disorder.
Especially when you're a parent dealing with that, because there's steps you can take to kind of cope with that and help them get ready to cope with in a public setting.
Even fucking anxiety. As I was at work the other day, some guy left early because he's like, I have anxiety and I can't work. And I was like, holy shit, this is a thing now. Like, it's legit now. Like, oh, if you have anxiety, go home. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
It's crazy. Everything has always been a thing. It just has never been brought to life. Brought up to light, and to people accept, like, okay,
except for the people that are dealing with
his work. You know, your work can't be done right now because of this thing that's happening to you. So take some time and get yourself together. But people are like, oh, you're a fucking shitty worker, bye, like, you're fired or whatever. So it's just really cool to see. It kind of sucks that it has to be celebrities that be like, oh, my husband has autism, or oh, I have anxiety. Like, well, normal everyday people that are not famous have this too, so why does it have to take someone of a high power to make this thing normal, kind of? So anyways, I just had to bring
thank you for the discussion, but it's an important one though.
Yes,
it's an important one, and then I
just thought it was kind of funny that happened to me at work yesterday, and then I just read that little.
But I commend Amy Schiller for sharing that, and she is only going to make the world better.
Yeah, and the comments under that people were just like,
people are vicious.
People were being really dumb, and
those are I could not the beta males and females. Those beta people. I say those when I say people that go literally on social media and just rip people apart and just shit on people. Those are beta people. Those are people that are not getting laid. Those are people that are like on the computer all fucking day, not doing anything.
Narrow-minded, I would say. Like,
like, it's just like, dude, really, you're just gonna go hate on somebody for no fucking reason?
Keyboard warriors.
It's alright, bro. It's like my boy Usman, Kamar Usman said, keep that same energy, bro. Keep that same energy when I see you on the streets.
Good way to end.
Anyways, that is the last of my news. I'll come back next week with more controversial news.
I want more. I want more. That's the thing. I want more.
All right, I'll try to fly through mine. My stuff is a little bit more lighthearted, pop culture stuff.
Just kidding.
So later this year, we'll be getting a straight-up sequel to T2 Judgment Day with original Deadpool director Tim Miller and James Cameron producing. We finally have an official title. It's called Terminator Dark Fate, which puts Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger side by side once again.
So he's attached to this?
Yes.
Did you see the picture of that they released?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
The only good thing is Linda Hamilton. That picture looks lame.
He's
are we picking up from
right after T2?
Right after T2?
Judgment Day, yeah. The end, the whole thing, because of Halloween, the success of Halloween, everybody's doing these like let's go back and do pick up from wherever that franchise was successful and do like a direct sequel, retconning everything else.
So are they so they're recalling fucking
Terminator 3, Salvation, Genesis.
Yeah,
none of that ever happened. Or they could say this is an alternate timeline where this version happened.
Which, I mean, it could be because the time traveling in that, and
that whole
the
universe.
Future and,
but
I mean,
anything's possible in that.
I know James Cameron pushed for this. He's the reason why this happened. He said he hates all the other installments after 1 and 2, of course, because he did them. He said he wasn't satisfied with anything that was done, in the more recent franchise, and that's why he wanted to do this, a direct sequel to.
Hey, James Cameron, I'm waiting for fucking Avatar 2.
or 3 or 4
or 3 or 4.
So
Come at me with Pandora's
up to
son.
10.
I'm sure that's coming very, very, very
He shitted on Aquaman actually a couple weeks ago. He said, "Oh man, that movie like
That's a $1 billion movie.
He's like
I'm sorry,
he's
James
like
Cameron.
the physics